One of Family Tree Magazine's best of 2024 is genealogy software called Goldie May. It can help you speed up your research, untangle your family tree, and stay organized. It even has an automatic research log. It does not replace your genealogy programs, but it might replace the sticky notes on your monitor and papers on your desk. All those places you keep your notes and figure out your research. There's lots to do for free, or you could get a discounted subscription at goldiemay.com/Family Tree Magazine. That's goldiemay.com/Family Tree Magazine. Welcome to Family Tree Magazine's Best Websites podcast. This is the podcast devoted to finding the best websites to help you with your genealogy research. I'm Lisa Louise Cook. One of the biggest challenges genealogists face is translating foreign language records, and that's especially true if the handwriting is hard to read. Well, fortunately, there are many online tools that can help you decipher even cryptic texts. Whether you need to decipher a letter written in Norwegian or a German church record written in Gothic script or a newspaper article published in Spanish, you can use this guide to find the right tools for the job. And the guide can be found in the Family Tree Magazine. And the article is found in translation. The author is Rick Crume, and he covers how online tools from word lists all the way to AI chatbots can help you decipher foreign language records. And I'm very happy to say Rick is now here with us on the podcast. Hi, Rick.
Hi, Lisa.
You know, in this article, you cover a wide variety of kind of categories of some of the best websites for translation purposes. I noticed here you've got word lists, handwriting guides and dictionary websites, message boards and online groups, online translators, transcription aids, professional translators, and AI chatbots. My gosh, it seems like there's never been a better time to have to translate a document these days, and you can do it right from home. How do you go about deciding which one of these categories of tools would be best for any given translation situation?
Certain tools have been around for a long time, like most of those tools listed in the word lists, handwriting guides, and dictionaries category in my article. And let's say you're searching through some foreign language church records and you just need to be able to recognize a few important words, like maybe baptism and marriage and numbers, for example. Then these word lists and handwriting guides and dictionaries can be really useful. So you can just familiarize yourself with those few important words so you recognize them when you come across them. Or maybe you're just using some kind of document and you just need to look up a few words. You might refer to an online dictionary. Nowadays, there are a lot more powerful tools that go way beyond just these word lists and online dictionaries. And the next category that I covered is online translators. And these are really helpful. I think people probably use Google Translate very often. DeepL is another one that does a really good job. It's probably not as well known. These online translators are especially helpful if you have, let's say, a document already in a text format that maybe you can just copy and paste into Google Translate, select the original language. Usually it will even recognize what language it is, and then what language you want to translate it to. And amazingly, just almost immediately, you'll get usually a very good translation. Google Translate interprets text, images, documents, and websites between nearly 250 languages, so it probably covers just about any language you might need. DeepL is also a really good one, also free. It doesn't do as many languages, 30, but in some cases I've found that it produces a more accurate or natural sounding translation. So it's definitely worth trying DeepL too, I think. And those online translators are really helpful. Let's say you're visiting a whole website that's in a foreign language, you can translate the whole website. But especially useful for just being able to copy and paste some text and get an immediate translation.
Right. That sounds perfect for when it's already typed text, right?
Right.
And you mentioned DeepL. So for those listening, it's DEEP like Paul, L like Lisa, deepl.com. And I had not heard of that before. So that's really interesting. I know it seems like every Google tool I use, somewhere they have Translate kind of built in. It's built into Google Chrome. It's built into Google Books. So it's kind of really right there where you need it.
Yes, that's right. So if you have it built into Google Chrome and you're visiting a foreign language website, often Chrome will even prompt you, do you want me to translate this into English? And it makes it
Right.
really easy.
Love that. Now, there are going to be lots of situations where it isn't typed text. And we've been fortunate enough to find an old document that's in handwriting. So, what kind of tools do you recommend for the handwritten text that needs to be translated?
So here you might take a look at the transcription aids if you want to familiarize yourself with a particular kind of handwriting, like maybe old German script. And there are different websites that can help you maybe with different types of handwriting, like one called Alte Deutsche Handschriften, which gives you samples of various German scripts. There's also a BYU script tutorial. It has interactive tutorials to help you read old scripts. And the Family Search Research Wiki has a lot of really helpful articles on interpreting foreign language handwriting. And there is a tool called Transcribus, which I haven't used a lot. If you have, let's say, a big project that you're trying to translate, this tool could be really useful, I think. If, for example, you have a big project, you can train Transcribit to read a sample from your project, and then you can apply what it's learned to the whole project and translate it. You can train it to recognize the particular handwriting that you're working with. In my really limited test without training it like that, I didn't get really great results, but it's worth considering if you have a big project.
That's a really good point about training it. I mean, that's kind of how artificial intelligence got going, was the machine learning. And I think you're right, starting with the small bits first, kind of getting that secured and then expanding out from there. That's great. So Transcribus is transkribus.ai. And you mentioned chatbots. So tell us, that's the latest and greatest in translation tools.
So that really is an exciting topic, and they are changing translation in a big way. And I tried all of the most popular AI chatbots, artificial intelligence chatbots, and in general, what I found is that they do a really good job if the handwriting isn't too hard to read. But if it's quite hard to read, then you get mixed results. For example, I use ChatGPT to translate a postcard with handwriting in Norwegian. And this was just written in 1980s, and the handwriting is pretty clear. So ChatGPT did a really good job of translating that. It just left off one phrase at the end for some reason. I don't know why. However, with other documents, I didn't have such good luck with AI chatbots. For example, I was trying to translate a German marriage record from 1735 found on Ancestry, and the handwriting, it's clear, but still that handwriting is not easy to read. So I had ChatGPT do it and a number of others, including, Gemini from Google. And I thought that translation looked really impressive. It looked like it got all the details just right. And I was ready to write about how wonderful Gemini is compared to all of the other AI chatbots, which really didn't do very well. But then I showed this translation to a translator on one of the online message boards, and he alerted me that the translation really wasn't very good at all. It left out some important information, including names, and it even added some information that wasn't even there. And since I was completely baffled by it, I wasn't able to verify whether or not the translation was good or bad. So that was kind of eye-opening. That's something you need to be aware of, that an AI chatbot might do what they call hallucinating, just make up something that isn't even there.
Exactly. It's trained to give you an answer. And it's also large language models where it's about predicting the next logical word. So it's saying, well, this would be a logical thing.
Yeah.
Really good point. In the end, we're still in the really early stages of artificial intelligence. So we've got to keep that in mind. And how smart of you to go to a real translator. And you even mentioned on here going to professional translators. There are websites out there who feature them. So talk about how can we tap into them to either verify or just do the translation right up front?
Yes, so there are a number of message boards and online groups that you might find useful. There are family search communities. There are Facebook groups. For example, there's one group called Genealogical Translations, another one, German Genealogy Translations. In researching this article, it appears to me that translating old German documents is by far the hardest problem for American genealogists trying to translate old documents. That translating old German documents is a very popular topic for American genealogists. Also, Ancestry.com has a number of message boards that you might try. And so I had really good luck using these Facebook groups and online communities. And they tend to be people who are really expert at reading this handwriting and they, know the old language. However, you can't really expect a volunteer to translate a really long document or something like that. So I have actually hired a professional to translate a document, and that worked really well too. I just did it online with somebody in Germany and just sent her the document, and within minutes, she sent me what I think is a very good translation, and it didn't cost very much either.
And how'd you find her? Did you just do a Google search or do you have some favorite places?
And let's see, in the article, I give a couple of resources to look at.
I see here the Germanic Genealogy Society. That's a great place.
Yeah, that's one. Also, the International German Genealogy Partnership has a list of researchers, and you could just Google German genealogy translations, professional translator, something like that, and you could probably find somebody too.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. You're talking about kind of where things are right now with AI. And I know for some documents, I've used AI to grab just like the column headings. And if they seem logical and they're correct, you could almost use AI to train you. Because don't you find the more you work with a foreign language and particularly any unique handwritten script, you become familiar with it yourself. And pretty soon you can spot things you could not spot in the first few minutes that you tackled that document.
Yeah, that's probably true. If you took the time once you get a good translation, if you took the time to compare that to the original document and try to recognize the letters, you probably could get better at recognizing and interpreting the old handwriting. But it really can be really hard and intimidating, I think.
Yeah. Well, this article is a great help. You really went through and tested so many of these websites. You gave examples of how the results compared. And I think all of that can help train us to be better at making our selections about using online translation tools. The article that Rick wrote is again called Found in Translation. It is in the May-June 2025 issue of Family Tree Magazine and a terrific resource. Always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing this homework for all of us, Rick. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Lisa. It was fun chatting.
Thanks so much for joining me for the Family Tree Magazine Best Websites podcast. You can find a link over to this month's best website at familytreemagazine.com/podcast. Also, while you're at the website, I would encourage you to sign up for our free email newsletter. It's the perfect way to stay in touch with everything we've got going on at Family Tree Magazine, including our other podcast, the Family Tree Magazine Podcast. I'm Lisa Louise Cook, and you can find me at my website, genealogygems.com, where you'll find links to my Genealogy Gems podcast and our YouTube channel. Until next time, have fun climbing your family tree.